first time I actually got to go hunting with Francis was an awesome experience.
I'm feeling pretty lucky about you.
I think at a certain point when hunters have been hunting for so long, they actually are more excited to teach somebody else how to hunt than go hunting themselves.
We're going to be targeting deer that are bedding down up along the edge of a swamp.
He knows his stuff really well.
So we're going to try to set up so we'll intercept those hungry deer.
That sounds like a good idea.
Matt, why don't you go ahead and grab your gun?
I have never been hunting before. I have zero hunting experience.
We're going to hold you guys down with some scent killer. Wind direction is probably the single most important factor when you're setting up a deer hunt. So what I'm using is it's a wind indicator. Wind's coming out of the south, southeast, which is really ideal for where we're setting up.
We started going in and said, geez, is this grass flattened because deer were laying down? He's like, oh no, that's wind.
Usually with a deer, it'll be a fairly oval circle.
The trail that we're on has deer prints all over the place, so my heart's starting to, I'm like, oh, okay, I got some confidence here.
This is not humans, this is all deer activity. So this is where a buck, but he's coming and rake the bark off the sapling. And probably this was to remove velvet from the antlers. Deer have a very keen sense of smell. So one way we can try to trick the deer is by setting up in a direction that's downwind from where the deer is likely to cross.
Prior to getting out there, I couldn't even eat food that day, so my stomach was completely empty. It would not stop growling, and I was like, geez, this is gonna ruin my hunt. At about an hour and a half into it, I see something over to my right, and being cautious, I'm kind of bending my eyes as far to the right as I can possibly do, and then I start turning my head, and sure enough, I see this 4-pointer walking up 30 yards away. I got the rifle up, I took the safety off. Francis all of a sudden starts making these noises.
Blah, blah, blah.
And the deer stopped right in front of a giant tree. All I could see was its head on the left side and its tail on the right side of the tree. And sure enough, after 10 seconds, it turned to the right and just ran with that tree covering it up. And I knew not to take a shot at a running deer, especially being a new hunter. And then it was over, and the deer was gone, and it's like, wow, that just happened so fast. An hour later, Francis, whispered, there's a deer. I see it, and it's of course behind a tree. The first thing Francis taught me is think about an animal walking through, and where are your shooting lanes? So I decided, all right, I had a lane straight ahead of me where there was no brush, no trees in the way. So I set up on that lane. As soon as it got into my sights, I fired. After I shot it, I was like, oh, geez, I got a deer. I was pretty excited. I asked Francis, what's next? And he said, all right, well, we're gonna sit here and wait for that deer to bleed out or, calm down.
You're better off just waiting and not pushing the deer. Sometimes if it's not a quick kill, it may take a little bit for that deer to die.
I went straight to the spot where I shot it and put up some flagging, and I started looking for blood on the ground there, and I couldn't find anything.
Since we don't see right now any evidence of a hit, we're not going to push the deer. We're going to wait until tomorrow.
My experience of seeing deer is always in fields where they're standing still. You never think about them actually moving. It looks like I may have missed it. It's a downer for sure. There's still more to the season. I can't wait to have things pan out completely. I did not get a single deer this year. I think with what I learned this year, my chances went up dramatically for harvesting an animal next year. And I know that anybody that goes out as a new hunter, when they have that first experience, it's something they'll never forget.